Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are rejoicing and we're glad in it. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, March the 6th, 2025, and we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. If you're coming on, joining us live, do me a quick favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, and don't forget to tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know that on this beautiful Thursday, your boy, Ramon Preston, and my squad, we are all live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. And you, my friend, are watching the Ramon Preston Show. And if you don't know, now you know. I'm your host, Ramon Preston, every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. Live, we show up here to share information with you. We share information with you about business, about real estate, about investing, about wealth building, about business systems and processes. We even talk about the Bible, relationships, and anything that we can share with you to help you in your journey to building a legacy. So thank you for joining the show. Don't forget to put in the comments what city, what state that you are watching the Ramon Preston Show from. We always love to know what city and state you watch the show from. So just put it in the comments. Let me know where you're watching us from. And we certainly appreciate all of our subscribers, those of you that have subscribed to our YouTube page. If you follow me on other social media platforms, thank you for being a part of our business and maybe our ministry community. As a pastorpreneur, someone who is a leader in the ministry to my congregation and a leader to my community in the marketplace, it always does my heart well when we can share moments like this moment with you while you are working towards building a legacy for you and for your family. So again, put in the comments what city, what state you are watching the Ramon Preston Show from. If throughout the course of today's show, if I say something that you have a question about, just drop the question in the comments. My team and I, we're always looking at the comments. We are chatting and communicating with everyone and anyone. So if you have a question, put it in the comments. And before we end today's show, just in case you are not able to stay until the end, inside of the description of this video, there is a link to our HoldCo Dealmakers Playbook. It's a 6-week training that we put together to teach you how to become a HoldCo, a holding company deal maker. So if you want to take advantage of the opportunity that we have extended to you, there's a link in the description. And if you have a question about our HoldCo Dealmakers program or any other program that we offer or services that we offer, don't hesitate to take the number or one of the numbers that you see in the description and reach out to us. My team and I, we are always available to answer any question you have. And that's why we show up here live every day, Monday through Friday, just like today, Thursday, March the 6th, 2025. And we are live on the Ramon Preston Show. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a few minutes, and everything that I've been sharing with you on the show for the last 2 weeks is straight out of our HoldCo Dealmakers Playbook. So this 6-week training, I deep dive into all of these concepts and principles that you can use if you desire to have a holding company and if you desire to use your holding company to make money, not just to have another operating company to make money, but you actually want to make money using your HoldCo. That's what the HoldCo Dealmakers Playbook 6-week training is about. And guess what? That's what all of the other components of this playbook is about. So this particular program, we have the 6-week training, we have the mastermind that we'll be hosting in a couple weeks. It's going to be a 1-day private deep dive. We have our workbook for you to go through the modules, and we also have the one-on-one strategy call. So today we're going to be talking about the 3 keys for using equity to grow your business. 3 keys for using equity to grow your business. Question in the comments, is the $97 price still good? No, we are no longer offering the $97 VIP option. First of all, because our workshop has concluded. We hosted our workshop Saturday, but we still do have the program available, and we'll be more than happy to onboard you and get you going. So for those of you who are really looking for creative ways to make money through your business, whether it is through your holding company or whether it is through an operating business under your holding company, or maybe it's through certain assets that you have inside of your holding company, I want to show you 3 keys for using equity to grow your business. So, for example, if you have a holding company or if you have an operating company, so your holding company could be your parent company. Maybe you don't have a lot of business activity going on in your holding company. Or maybe you have an operating company where you sell certain products and or you provide a certain service. Okay, either way, whether you have a holding company or whether you have an operating company or both, these are real entities. There may be assets inside of these entities. And if you own an LLC, you own all the equity in that LLC. So I want to start here. No matter what kind of LLC you own, if you own a LLC, you are the owner of the equity of that LLC. So whether it's a holding company LLC, whether it's a HoldCo LLC, or whether it is an operating LLC, you still own 100% of the equity in that entity or in those entities. So today I want to show you 3 keys for using equity to grow your business. See, most business owners who don't think like HoldCo deal makers, they do not look at their equity as an asset that they can sell or offer to grow their business. And this, what I'm sharing with you, is one of the most powerful and one of the most important ways for you to shift how you think about business and to change how you do business. If you could just make this one transition, you're going to easily go from just being a typical business entrepreneur into becoming a real HoldCo deal maker. Because someone who has a holding company and who understands why they have that holding company, they are going to be more flexible to use their equity to grow their business, as opposed to someone who doesn't have a holding company or who just doesn't understand why it's important for them to have a holding company, because all they want to do is hold and control the equity in the business, whether the business is making money or not. So the 3 keys for using equity to grow your business, it all starts with you understanding that if you own any business, no matter what the business is that you own, no matter what the purpose of the business is, it begins with you understanding that your ownership of that business puts you in control of the equity in that business. So whether it's a 0 revenue business or a $1 million revenue business, if you own it and it's an LLC or S Corp or C Corp or whatever type of entity structure it is. You still own it, and that means you control the equity of that company. And you should start developing the mentality that I'm going to use my equity to grow my business, even when I can't use the sale of products and services to grow it. I can use my equity to grow it. So just that alone is worth you watching the show today. If you could just wrap your mind around what I just said, even before I get into the 3 keys, just wrapping your mind around the fact that, oh, wow, I own a business, and my ownership of the business is really my ownership of the equity in this business. And whether this business is selling products, whether this business is providing a service or doing a little bit of both, I still control the equity. And even when I get to a point to where I can't grow my business through sales of products and services because of whatever the reasons are, I can still use my equity to grow my business. This one thing alone can change how you grow as a business entrepreneur, how you grow as a person, how your wealth and net worth grows, how your revenue ultimately grows. And 99.9% of small business owners, they miss this. They don't even think about this. They don't even look at it the way I'm talking about. And that's why 99% of business owners, they don't grow. Their businesses don't grow. Their revenue don't grow. Their net worth don't grow. Their enterprise value, nothing grows, because all they're thinking about is, well, if my operating business cannot sell another product, I can't grow. If my operating business can't offer another service, I can't grow. So, if they can't find a new client or a new customer to buy a product or to pay for a service, they feel like my business can't grow. This is where you need to start tapping into looking at your equity ownership and using your equity to grow your business. So here are the 3 keys for using equity to grow your business. Number 1, the first key is creating the right entity structure for maximum results. So this is why I teach people how to start and structure holding companies. Because if you learn how to start and structure holding companies and you understand the power of using equity to grow your business, you will be able to create the right entity structure to get maximum results. And here are the areas that you want to get maximum results in. You want to get maximum results in the RS, that is your revenue streams. So you want to create revenue streams, and your EV, which is your enterprise value. So the first key to using equity for your business to grow is creating the right entity structure for maximum results. Now, I'm not going to go into the deep dive parts of this first key because I'm waiting to do that in our mastermind. But when you learn how to create the right entity structures, these entity structures are the assets that allow you to exit certain businesses, because you're able to put these entity structures together in a way that give you an exit. It releases you from the burden of trying to keep growing this business, when how you structure this entity or multi-entity enterprise can actually become the business. Now, I just said a lot that you might have missed, but if you're missing some of the things I'm saying, it's only because you just don't hear this information enough and you're not around people who talking like that. So again, the first key for using equity to grow your business is creating the right entity structure for maximum results. So I'm always looking for the most creative way to put an entity structure together so that I'm able to use that entity structure as the vehicle to grow my business and to exit certain aspects of my business so that I'm not stuck for 30 years doing the thing I started doing. All right. Like a lot of companies today, in the tech world, or a lot of companies that go public, they use investment banks like Goldman Sachs and a lot of these other big investment companies to put entity structures together so that they can exit certain aspects of that current business. And then when they go public, they get a big payday. Whoever the founders are, they get a big payday. The investment banks get big paydays. And then all the new shareholders come in and get portions of equity of that new structure that allows the operating business to continue to grow. It allows investors investment money to continue to grow. It allows the founders to continue to grow. Like, everybody wins. And this is how you want to start thinking, even at the level you might be on, whether it's being a solopreneur, a small business owner, and all you might be doing is making $10,000 or $20,000, $30,000 a year through your small business. You still want to think like that. Matter of fact, you might not even have a business. You might be thinking about starting a business or getting into investing, and you work a W-2 job. You should be thinking like this, because you can skip the line and get further if you think like this. Like, I'm giving y'all millions of dollars worth of game right now on this show. And again, I'm going to go deeper into that during our mastermind. So the first key for using equity to grow your business is creating the right entity structure that gives you the maximum results. And your results should be revenue streams and enterprise value. So I got to know how to put this business entity structure together in a way that I maximize all my results. And there should be multiple entities structured under the holding company that allows you to maximize those results. The second key for using equity is you need to have clarity on who and on what you need to grow. So think about it. Let's say you look at your current business enterprise and you decide, I want to give up some equity in my enterprise to grow my business. Let's say you want to do that. And let's say your enterprise is structured correctly with the right entities that maximizes your results. So that means your enterprise value is maximized, your revenue streams are maximized, or at least you see the path to maximizing your revenue streams and your enterprise value. Then you go to the second key and you say, okay, now I need to get clarity. I need to be clear on who do I need to grow my business? Like, what type of business partners do I need? Because sometimes you don't just need partners who bring in money to the table. Sometimes you need strategic partners. Outside of just having money, you might need a strategic partner who has a certain expertise, who has a certain skill set, who has a certain ability. I mean, think about it. We live in a world with social media influencers that if you had a certain social media influencer as a strategic partner who owned equity in your business, just their platform alone will allow your business to grow. Just that alone, because they could expose you to probably millions of people that will buy your products and services instantly. So you have to start thinking about, how can I use my equity, not just other things that might not help me grow, or they're not giving me the growth that I want. So you want clarity on who do you need, and you need clarity on what you need to grow. That's why I put the P, the S, and the R. The P is for people. I need to be clear about who are the people that I need to partner with. And then the S is systems. What kind of systems and infrastructure or processes do I need? Because if I'm bringing on partners and I'm opening my business up to give away some equity to grow, I don't just need money, but I also need the right people. I need the right systems, and I need other resources. Sometimes those other resources could just be connections, relationships, access to get into certain rooms. This is how you need to start thinking as a HoldCo deal maker. You don't need to just keep thinking like you've been thinking, because if the way you've been thinking ain't getting you no further along, you got to stop thinking that way. You got to learn new information. You got to start thinking differently. Okay. And then the third key for using equity to grow your business is you have to have a commitment to collaboration as currency. So you have to have a commitment to collaboration. So that means if you're a funny acting person, if you feel like your ideas are the best ideas, if you have a big ego, if you're a very prideful person and you really don't like listening to people, if you're not a person who likes to be accountable to others, then what I'm talking about ain't gonna work for you. Because you got to be willing to be humble. You got to be open. You got to be honest. You got to be transparent. You got to be willing to share personal information. You got to open yourself up to other people's ideas. This is all about growing. This is all about growing. And let me just say this before I end my last key. If you look at a person, whether it's their personal life, whether it's their career or professional life, and even their financial life, when you look at a person and you observe that this person is not growing. So when I talk to someone and they're not growing personally, they're not growing professionally, they're not growing financially. Guess what that is telling me? If they the same person, they talking the same, like I see this all the time. That's why I don't waste my time with a whole lot of people, because it's like you talking the same way you was talking 4 years ago. You doing the same thing you was doing 12 years ago. It ain't nothing changed about you professionally, personally, financially. You still in the same situation. It has a lot to do with the fact that they are not committed to collaborate, because they don't listen to other people. They don't work with other people. They don't take advice from other people. They're not growing. So the third key for using equity to grow your business is, creating, is getting clarity, but it's also having a commitment to collaboration. I'm committed to partner with people, and my collaboration is currency to help improve OR, EO, and ES. So when I'm committed to collaborate with people, because I look at collaboration as currency, it's going to help improve my operational roles. OR is operational roles. So there are certain operational roles that are going to improve. So there are certain things that I do in my business that I'm probably going to get better at, or maybe I'm not going to get better at. I'm just going to move away from that operational role and bring somebody else in who's better at that. But I can't do that if I'm not committed to collaborate. If I don't look at collaboration as currency, I'm not going to grow. Okay? So it's going to improve my OR, which is my operational roles. It's going to improve my EO, which is my equity ownership, because even if I only own 10% of a company and everybody else owns 90%, my 10% of equity ownership improves because I have more people who are helping me to improve it, as opposed to I'm owning 100% of my company, but I'm the only one that owns it. Guess what? I'm not really improving that 100% of equity, because I don't have the right people, I don't have enough of the right systems, and I don't have all of the resources I need to bring value to my enterprise. Do you see how this stuff works? Hopefully you see it. And it also improves my ES, my exit strategy. It gives me more of an advantage or more leverage to exit certain roles, exit my ownership, or just exit the business altogether. So what I'm sharing with you right now is high-level strategies that only people who want to become deal makers using entities like holding companies are going to catch on. And if I'm talking a foreign language to you, it's only because you just don't hear this enough. It's only because you're not getting educated. So you got to be willing to pay to play. All right. You literally got to pay to play. You got to pay. You got to take courses. You got to get inside of communities, get around people who's talking about these types of deal structures, who are doing them, and who can show you how to do it in a more effective and efficient way. So today's show was about the 3 keys for using equity to grow your business. And hopefully you learned something valuable. Again, if you're watching this live, inside of the description, there's a link to our HoldCo Dealmakers Playbook. It's a 6-week training, and I go deep on all this stuff, teaching you some high-level strategies on how to take a holding company and connect it with deal making. That's where we get the term HoldCo Dealmaker, and monetize these deals. How do you make money off putting deals together? How do you monetize your holding company so it's not sitting dead? How do you take this concept of owning holding companies and build out entity infrastructures with assets and products and services and businesses and relationships and collaborations and partnerships? How do you do these things so that you can really grow and make money and not stay on the hamster wheel of trying to just push a product or push a service for the next 30 years? So if you want to take advantage and be a part of this 6-week HoldCo Dealmakers training, you get the 6-week training course. Each course inside of this program has modules with videos, with homework exercises. You also get access to our upcoming HoldCo Dealmakers Mastermind. This mastermind is really going to be a deep dive where we take some of these sophisticated strategies and I show you how to put them together. See, a lot of times when you learn concepts like this, you're learning it piece by piece, but you don't always know how they all work together. It's kind of like a human body. If I gave you the arm and then I gave you the foot and then I gave you the ear and then I gave you the leg, you know it's a part of a body, but you don't always know how it all fits together until I sit down and say, hey, this is the ear, put it here, this is the leg, and this is how the body works. Now activate it and move on. So that's what we're going to be doing in the mastermind. And of course, we're offering you a strategy call. So this call, you can ask questions. You could get some direction and insight on what steps you need to take based on what you're doing in your current business or what you want to do in your future business. And the link is in the description. If you have questions, copy the link and copy the number and give me and my team a call. We are here right now live on Thursday, March the 6th, waiting to hear from you. DL, how do you acquire assets that make people want to work with you? Well, really acquiring the assets, a better word would be, how do I develop the assets that I already have and make the assets I already have more attractive to potential investors and partners, okay? So it's not just about acquiring assets, it's about developing the assets. So you have to put a list of assets together, things that you believe are assets. So you will be an asset. Maybe you have a couple businesses, maybe you have some equipment, anything that you have that you think is an asset. You put all the assets on a list and then you start quantifying those assets. What is the value? Like if you are an asset, what is your value? What do you bring to a relationship? What do you bring to a partnership? If an investor approached you, what exactly would you be able to do if an investor wanted to do business with you? What are the things that you could do? Maybe your time is an asset. Maybe your experience or your education or certain things that you know about. Maybe you got relationships with people. Whatever those assets are, you want to put a list of all those assets together, determine what their value is, and you might have to work on developing those assets. And those are things that you don't acquire in terms of going out buying it. These are things that you already have. It's more accumulating them and making them make sense, making sure that you understand what their value is. And then you think about what type of person you would like to do business with. What type of person would you need to do business with? And where can that relationship fit perfectly? And then you start building relationships with those types of people. You start looking for those types of people and you start having those conversations on a regular basis. And before you know it, you're going to run into somebody who might be interested in something you have. And they may say, hey, I'm not interested in these 3 things, but this one I am. What can we do to make something happen with this? And that's how those relationships start. That's how you start developing the right connections and doing deals with investors, partners, colleagues, or other business owners. So hope I answered that question. I appreciate you all for joining us live today. Again, if you have any questions, just take the information in the comments or in the description and give us a call, or hopefully you are interested in joining our HoldCo Dealmakers 6-week training. Everybody in my community right now, I'm talking about all of our coaching clients in our coaching program, our students in our educational courses, our investors and partners inside of our private equity firm. Everybody currently right now is going through this same training. And I'm walking them through this 6-week training manually because I want everybody to get a deal. And we're going to go all the way up until the end of March this month with this training. And I'm already seeing results. Like, I'm talking to people in our community and they're starting to get it. It's resonating. The light is coming on. They're starting to rework their business structures. They're starting to think about their equity differently. They're looking at creative ways to put partnerships together, to offer investors equity in their business, because at the end of the day, they want to grow. They want to be free. They want to do deals. And you got to be willing to give up the most valuable stuff. Think about it. You want to do deals with somebody, right? You want an investor to be interested in something you got going on, but the ideas that you want to offer them are ideas that are not even the most valuable ideas you have. Or you want to offer them, it's like when you watch Shark Tank, sometimes you will see somebody go on Shark Tank, right? And they'll tell the sharks, hey, sharks, I got this new business idea. It's going to make $10 million a year, and I want to offer y'all 30% of this. And then when they start asking the entrepreneur questions, they find out that the entrepreneur has another business that they're already making $10 million, or maybe they're making $1 million. And then the sharks say, well, are you including that existing business into this new one? Oh, no, that's separate. No, it's not separate. You should offer me a part of what's already valuable, what's already working. You don't hide your hand with the good stuff and try to give me the stuff that you don't think is good. You don't think somebody's going to pick up on that? So I always encourage my coaching clients and students and even investors that I work with, always take people to the good stuff. If equity in your company is the good stuff, talk about the good stuff. Don't talk about products and services when that ain't the best stuff you got. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you wrap your mind around what I'm saying, you will be a millionaire in the next 5 years just by the things that we're talking about now. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining today's show. And I will be back here tomorrow. Same place, same time, 12 o'clock noon, right here